Good morning, boys and girls. This is our vocabulary word for today. And the word is barren. We read that word in our story, and I told you that it means that the land was empty. It did not have any plants or trees on it. So barren means unable or not able to produce many plants. All the trees had been cut down, the ground was not being watered anymore, and there were no more trees or plants or vegetables growing on the land. For our lesson today, I want you to get a piece of paper and a pencil, and I want you to write the word barren, B-A-R-R-E-N. And then I want you to draw a picture or write about what Wangari did when she came home and found that her land was barren. What did she do when she came home and found her land barren? Go ahead and pause the video for just a minute, and when you come back, I'll show you what I wrote, okay? All right, are you back? So I wrote that she cried. First she cried, remember, when she saw that the land was barren, and then she planted trees. Do you remember how many trees she planted in her backyard when she first got back and the land was barren? She planted 9 trees in her backyard when she got back to Kenya and found that the land was barren. All right, thanks for helping me with that. We are going to keep working on our grammar this week, that is combining sentences. And yesterday we combined sentences using the conjunctions and or but. And today we're only going to use the conjunction and. We're going to just practice with the conjunction and, all right? So I have 2 sentences. And when we use the conjunction and, it usually means that the 2 sentences kind of have something to do with each other. All right, so this sentence is talking about 2 friends going somewhere. And it says, Jan rode her bike, Rob walked. So we could combine those 2 sentences into one just by cutting them apart and adding the word and, right? So Jan rode her bike and Rob walked. Now we have to do something else when we add that conjunction. Do you remember what we need to do? We need to take out the period. Now, when you're using the word and, if you want to just take the period out, you can. Jan rode her bike and Rob walked. But if you want to use a comma, you can. Usually you just use a comma if you're listing 2 or more things. Okay, now what about the word Rob? Do we need to change it to lowercase? No. It's somebody's name, so we're going to leave it uppercase, all right? Now, the next 2 sentences are talking about what these 2 men do for their work, okay? So it's talking about the same thing. It's talking about their work, so we're going to use the conjunction and. Ted is a doctor. John is a banker. We can separate those 2 sentences and make them one by saying Ted is a doctor and John is a banker. Okay, we need to get rid of the period. We can turn it into a comma. And what about the uppercase J? It is the name of a person, so we are going to leave it uppercase. All right, our last one says, I like juice, I like milk. So it's talking about the same person and two different things that they like. So we can also use the conjunction and. I like juice and I like milk. That means that you like both of them. If you were going to use the conjunction but, it might sound like I like juice, but I don't like milk. But we're talking about two things that we do like. So we would use the conjunction and. I like juice, comma, and I like milk. What about that uppercase I? Do we need to change it to a lowercase? It's not someone's name. Oh, it is? Kind of, huh? It's a pronoun. It is what we call ourselves. So we are going to leave it uppercase. Well done, boys and girls. The next activity we're going to do, you're going to need a piece of paper for because you're going to write these sentences combined. So you do not have to write them this way into different sentences. I just want you to write them combined, all right? And we're going to combine them with the conjunction and. Let's read together. We plant seeds, we water them, okay? How would we put those together to make one sentence? Let's begin with we plant seeds. Okay, we're going to change our period to a comma, right? And what word are we going to use to combine them? And. Okay, now let's look at the word we. Is it somebody's name? It is not. It is not a proper noun, so we are going to change this W to a lowercase, all right? We plant seeds and we water them. So when you're talking about two sentences where you're doing the same thing, it's the same person that's doing both things, you can combine them with the conjunction and. And if you need to pause the video while you write so that you can catch up, that's fine. When we're done with this whole page, I'm going to have you go back and draw a picture of what that would look like, okay? Let's do the last one. The sun shines, the plants grow. Okay? Let's begin with the sun shines. Okay, we're not going to use a period. We're going to change it to a comma. We're going to use the conjunction and. The plants grow. All right, should we leave this in uppercase? No, the word the is not a proper noun. We're going to change it to lowercase because we are not starting a new sentence. The sun shines and the plants grow. Now you would not say the sun shines but the plants grow. You might say the sun shines but the plants don't grow. When you're talking about things that are similar, you're going to use and. The sun shines and the plants grow. When you're done writing that sentence, go ahead and draw a picture to go with it. And you are done with your grammar lesson for today. Thanks for joining me, boys and girls. See you tomorrow.